we are in front of what used to be a schoolhouse and then was the old library. Am I right, Dan?
Yes, this was a schoolhouse until 1890. And in the 1890s, it was converted into a library. This was the first town library that we had. Actually, it was the second. The first town library was a room in the old town hall that they set aside for books.
Oh, yeah. Now, I would imagine this probably, as a schoolhouse, was like what they called a one-room schoolhouse type of thing.
Yeah.
And everybody, all grades were all in the same?
Yeah, grades 1 through 8. Usually all were in one room.
Okay.
I'll show you something interesting when we get inside, though, with this particular schoolhouse.
All right, sounds good. All right, Dan, show me what we have here in this schoolhouse.
This schoolhouse was the library for the town until the 1970s, and then they built the Kelly Library down the street. The schoolhouse was completely reconditioned for the 250th anniversary of the town by an Eagle Scout, led by an Eagle Scout as an Eagle Scout project. They did a very good job. Behind you, the door that we came in the original schoolhouse was not there.
It was a wall.
That was a wall. And on either side here, where the windows are, those were the doors. And there was a reason for that. The reason is that one door was for the girls on your right, and one door was for the boys on my left. And the boys and girls were brought in separately, and they went out separately. I guess we didn't go co-ed until much later in our history.
Now, does that mean that they sat on the left-hand side, the boys and
No.
Then it was
No.
intermixed.
Then we got assigned seats in the classroom because you kept the students together by grade.
Yeah. Okay.
The first row may be the first grade, another row second grade, and so forth. I'm not quite sure how the schoolhouse was set up. It was a little bit before my time.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
where did the teacher sit? Probably close to maybe close to the back of the room.
Yeah.
That's only a guess. But they converted it into a library. These files on both sides of the room were the card files from the Kelly Library. They gave them to us when they switched over to the computer system.
Wow.
Alice Hall was a librarian that started here when she was a young lady, about 28 or 29 years old, and spent her whole career basically in this library. Somebody in our historical society going through all of these papers and sort of cataloging what she gave us. She gave us an enormous amount of material, as you can see.
Very good.
To go through. A lot of it pertaining directly to the history of Salem.
Very good.
On the wall here we have some photographs. One of those is a photograph of Alice Hall herself, taken when she was still working. The other photograph, the one on the left, is a shot of this particular library as it looked when Alice Hall was the librarian here. Probably goes back to 1950s or 60s, the date of this picture. And in the corner, of course, is a small picture of what the library looks like. The bookcases are pretty well cataloged by subject. We're not using the Dewey Decimal System here per se. We just don't have enough time to do everything.
Yeah.
We have a record, annual reports from the town of Salem going back to the very earliest one, which is really packed in here pretty tight. The first one that we have is dated, let's see, 1867. So we have from 1867 on through the present day.
Yeah.
The newer ones are still in the museum over there in our office. We use data out of those when we correspond with people asking questions. The older ones are over here. We also have many of the annual reports over there going back to the 40s.
And this is open to the public.
Oh yes, whenever anybody wants to come and use the library over here, if somebody would call either me or the library or the museum, we'll be able to open up the library for somebody who wants to come in here and use these books in the
Facilities, right.
facilities to do research or whatever.